Hi guys, welcome to Economics, Chapter 3, Part 2, Liberalization, Privatization and Globalization. We have already come across the term globalization. What is globalization? It means movement of goods, services, technology from one place to another. What is liberalization? It refers to relaxation of previous government restrictions, usually in areas of social or economic policy. Privatization is nothing but the transfer of ownership, property or business from the government to the private sector. We have already discussed about new economic policy of 1991 in part 1. Now let us see what are the measures adopted in the new economic policy. It is broadly divided into two groups, stabilization measures and structural reforms. Now, what are stabilization measures? Those are short-term measures intended to correct the weakness of balance of payment and to bring inflation under control. Structural reforms are nothing but long-term measures which are aimed at improving the efficiency of the economy to increase international competitiveness by removing the rigidities of Indian economy. The various structural reforms are categorized as liberalization, privatization and globalization. Balance of payment is nothing but a system of recording countries' economic transactions with the rest of the world over a period of 1 year. Now, what is inflation? It is a situation in which general price level of goods and services increases in an economy over a period of time. Liberalization was introduced with an aim to put an end to restrictions which became major hindrances of growth and development of various sectors. Now let's discuss about the objectives of liberalization. To increase competition among domestic industries, to increase foreign capital formation and technology, to decrease the debt burden of our country, to encourage export and import of goods and services, and to expand the size of the market. Now let's discuss the economic reforms under liberalization. First, industrial sector reforms. Abolition of industrial licensing. Government abolished the licensing requirements of all industries except for 5 industries: liquor, cigarettes, defense equipment, industrial explosives, dangerous chemicals, drugs and pharmaceuticals. Contraction of public sector. The number of industries reserved for the public sector was reduced from 17 to 8. Presently, 3 industries are reserved for public sector: railways, atomic energy and defense. De-reservation of production areas. Production areas which were earlier reserved for small-scale industries were de-reserved. We have already come across that for opening up of an industry or for expanding the line of production, they need to obtain license. Now, for expansion of production capacity, the need for licensing was abolished. Producers were allowed to expand their production capacity according to market demand. Freedom was granted to business and production units to import capital goods to upgrade their technology. Now let's discuss about the financial sector reforms. It includes all financial institutions like commercial banks, investment banks, stock exchange operations and foreign exchange market. The reforms were reducing statutory liquidity ratio, that is SLR. It was lowered from 38.5% to 25%. Cash reserve ratio CRR was lowered from 15% to 4.1%. And again under financial sector reforms, There was competition from new private sector banks. It led to an increase in competition and expansion of services for consumers. RBI's role changed from regulator to facilitator and deregulation of interest rate except for savings account. Tax reforms. Reforms concerned with the government's taxation and public expenditure policy are collectively known as its fiscal policy. Tax rates in the country were quite high. Moderate and simplified tax structure prior to 1991 led to tax evasion. People did not pay tax properly. Fiscal reforms simplified tax structure and lowered tax. This reduced tax evasion and increased government's revenue. Reforms relating to foreign exchange and foreign trade are called as foreign exchange reforms. Devaluation of rupee. It is fall in value of rupee against a foreign currency. In 1991, rupee was devalued to increase our country's exports and to discourage imports. Tax reforms. The other measures were import quotas were abolished, policy of import licensing was almost scrapped, import duty was reduced, export duty was completely withdrawn. We have come to end of part 2. Hope all of you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe to my Schooling YouTube channel and click the post notifications. You will be notified every time.